has happened. You're 10 minutes from contact.
Yep. And I've just started up the... That should start up now.
Oh my God! All you guessed, you put a pen just below Tycho, left, right, on the left image. And you look above it and you look below it, and you can see the difference. That's all penumbral shadow. And then when the real dark one starts to take a bite, you're gonna love it. All right, I'm gonna go run the dance floor. I don't know how else to call it. Okay, catch you guys later. Oh, Barha.
Now that should be good. All right. Yeah, okay. Broadcast is running now. All right.
Yeah, I walked outside to look at the moon. Holy cow, it is so bright.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
Okay. I'm here now, guys. Got this YouTube running now. I got 13 people in there. Holy cow.
Now, can you say who they are, or just see occupants?
I don't know. Let me see if I can. I should be able. If there's people that have accounts, yes, I can. But none of the participants have accounts logged in. So I just know there's 14 people watching right now.
Okay, I'll come into it, and what's it called? Is it the same?
YouTube.
Cross?
It's Doug Bach. If you go to my Northern Cross Observatory Facebook page, there's an event and a hot link right there. Okay.
I'm already on YouTube, so let me see what happens. Well, no, there's more than one Doug Bach on there. Okay, so go to Facebook.
Well, if you searched on me, the icon is a picture of my Trifid Nebula.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Okay.
Oh, I spelled your name wrong. No wonder I didn't see it. Okay, Doug Bach. Looking for the live broadcast.
Oh, go to the. Let me put the live broadcast on my homepage. I don't have it there. I have it on my observatory page, but I'll go ahead and share it on my
I'll go there.
Northern Cross Observatory page.
Almost coming in.
Boy, look at how dark that moon has gotten now.
Yep.
And actually,
So what am I looking for? The link?
yeah, it's pinned to the top of the page. You scroll down to the first things that's on the page. It says, I'll broadcast the lunar eclipse. It has a picture of my observatory. Scroll down to the,
YouTube link?
yeah, which should be in the, no, actually you click on that event. Or no, the YouTube link's right there, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just click on that. That's all you have to do.
I got you. Okay, so I'm there.
All right. So I have two cameras running. The left one is the 10-inch. If you notice, the penumbra is taking over a chunk of the moon. And on the right, I have the 300 millimeter, and in the farther right, I have the 10-inch debayed. That's what this other image is. It's the debayer of the incoming FITS files off the 10-inch. And it's interesting that the shadowing doesn't show up very well there. I don't know why that is, but
Your shutter speed or
well, I haven't changed the shutter speed at all. The debayered one is probably doing auto. It's probably doing some auto exposure balancing. When it when, yep. So that's all that's going on there. I'm only bringing up this small one here so we get a little bit of color when we go into the red zone. It goes into red.
on your you got 14 people in your YouTube right now.
Yeah. By the way, folks in the YouTube, I'm broadcasting a Night Skies Network as well, so I'm talking to people over there as well. I'm broadcasting in both locations. I'm doing the YouTube one because I wanted to record the event on YouTube.
Pretty cool. I may have to go put my 300mm on my 6D and take the tripod out front. I'll wait till we get about a quarter across it before I stay. I just want a couple of pictures.
Mm-hmm. Well, so far everything's working. I can't guarantee it'll continue to work all night. I've got the heater on the UPS is probably shut off by now, but I've got it covered with a little bit of insulation, so it may stay warm enough. But I may take a quick break. I better do it soon, actually, because first contact's going to happen in about 5 minutes. I'm going to go out and make sure that heater's still on. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, heater's still on. We're in good shape. Looks like first contact's imminent. I'm going to update my exposures. I'm going to change this now to every 6 seconds. Yeah, 10 frames per minute. That way I'll have 600 frames during totality, approximately. And then this one, I need to pause. Let's see, where's my pause on here? Don't really want to abort it. I hardly ever use backyard EOS. That's why it's a little strange here. All right, I'm going to abort that. And I need to change this to 6 seconds for this. 6 seconds. And start the capture back up. All right, good. That's what I was going to do for totality. Instead of taking, yeah, well, I'm an old guy walking out to the observatory in the snow and cold. I get run out of breath, believe it or not. So the eclipse is well along here. Unfortunately, this is going to jerk around because of the fact that it's not tracking lunar rate really. Yeah. Hey, I'm nice and warm in the house here. I just had to run out to the observatory, make sure the UPS had the heater running on it, because otherwise it would have started throwing an alarm 2 hours ago when it dropped. Well, actually, I had to heat it up before I could even turn it on. It was only got to 9 degrees today here, so yeah. Let's see, I got two broadcasts running. Let me go check the other one here. Yeah, Jim, I'm ooh, excuse me. And my audio's working there. Let's see, anybody in my Discord channel? No. All right. Let me just close that. All right, so we got those running. Yeah. Well, I am wearing my long johns. You know, we get sub-zero. I put my 3.0 Under Armour on. Yeah, as I was outside, I took a little gander at the moon, and it's definitely getting dark on that side. And we should already have had first contact here. Yeah, in fact, I think you can tell that there's the little bit of a chunk taken. If I increase the exposures on these, it'll become a little more obvious. So we're going to do that. Just a little bit. We're going to increase the. We're going to go to 200 and start it again, and then I can dynamically change this one to. Let me see. Let me see what that's going to look like. Yeah, see it brightened up a little bit on there. We got the umbers on there now. Definitely got first contact. Here, I think I'm going to change the gain. Oops. I'm going to change the gain of the camera. We're at 10 now, or 30 now. We're going to go up to 50. And we'll wait for that exposure to come down here. 50's not too bad. May even go a little bit higher. Sounds good, Charles. I think I'll just minimize that for now. It's not really showing much on here. It's almost like it's not even doing it. Doesn't look like all these are being displayed. Huh. Yeah, we'll just stick with this. That's fine.
Too bad you can't build a program that will adjust the gain, like, say up one click, like every.
Oh, I have one. It's called GB Time Lapse.
That would be cool.
But I didn't know what it would do with a lunar eclipse. I know what it does if I'm doing star fields, but on a lunar eclipse, what it does is takes the previous photo and adjusts both the aperture and the time exposure from the previous one. But if the field of view is this wide, I mean, it would is as wide as it is here on the Canon, it would have a hard time registering the right exposure because of all the black. And I think all of it would be overexposed in GP time lapse. That's the reason I decided not to use it tonight. But that's definitely the edge of the umber right there.
Oh, yeah. When I walked out and looked at it with the binos, it was so cool.
I'm assuming you guys on YouTube can hear me. I have 25 watching now over here. Okay, good. Anyhow, two different views, a 2000 millimeter versus a 300 millimeter. That's why I set this up.
Doug, are you seeing the comments in your YouTube channel?
Yes, I am. Okay, my auto's working on both, so I think it's time to change the exposure on the 10. Let's see here. Oops, too much. I'll have to throw that frame out. Pretty sensitive when you change this stuff. Pretty sensitive.
It's always good to have the wife involved in our astronomy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like having a blank check to go buy something else. It's kind of like every time I want to buy something, I say, Lisa, I want to buy a gun. She goes, no, buy something else for your telescope. It works.
Sorry, guys, YouTube channel. I'm laughing at something the other channel. Oh man. See what the participant. See, the participant list doesn't show all you guys. That's interesting.
Yeah, it looks like only if you say something does it show.
No, no, yeah, I get that. But what I'm commenting on is they've actually got IDs, so they should show up in my participant. As the moderator, I have another command I can open up and look and see who's listed. It's only showing me. It's not showing anybody else. That's interesting. Hmm. So who is Smurfs? Harmony Smurf. That wouldn't be Kurt, would it?
Did you see what Gary said?
Yeah.
That's cool. Sharing the link. I could do that on YouTube channel. I could share this. Hey, see if my friends want to watch this.
Oh, very good, Kelly. That's just Smurfs is from the old times. Back in the good old days. Back in the good old days. Oh, okay. Mr. Ukulele player. Sounds good. Yeah, the reason I got started late is I had changed my key to my broadcast and forgot about using it, the new key that I got. So I had to go search for it and put it in my broadcast tool. Yeah, that was finally got that brought up at about 20 after 10. Yeah, look at that Umbra on this 300 millimeter. It's so evident there. Seems like it's more evident there than it is on the 10 inch. So the lunar rate isn't a full lunar rate. I actually have to move it in DEC and RA. It doesn't has the average rate, not the specific rate for the specific time. So this one looks like the 300 millimeter looks like it'll turn out pretty nice for the partials.
Hey, Doug.
Yeah.
Can you increase the zoom on Backyard EOS a little bit so you see a little more detail of the moon?
It's not gonna be it's not well focused.
Yeah. Okay.
It that 300 millimeter doesn't focus well.
Oh, tell me about it.
I've tried it.
That's what I was going to put on my 6D when I went out and started taking pictures.
that's
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 so punchy.
that's 70. Well, no, I can focus it from here. The thing is, it just won't compared to the 10 inch. It's blurry. It's the 75 to 300 millimeter zoom. The Canon one, the default you get, they're very inferior optics as far as I'm concerned. They're okay for like daylight, regular vacation pictures, but if you want really crisp shots, it's not the lens to have. It came with the camera, so I wasn't. I basically use it as a digital finder. So I'm taking shots every 6 seconds now, guys, instead of 15 during the totality phases here. When we get to totality, I will increase the exposure on one of these to bring out the red color, but not until totality. I wanted to increase the exposure on the 300 millimeter enough that you could see that little terminator line basically where the umbra is, which has become pretty obvious. .600 millimeter would be a nice format, Charles. I thought about putting my 1000 millimeter 4-inch on there, but I'd have to be out there manually focusing it in. With minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit, I didn't really feel like doing that. Yes, Charles, I'm doing this to make a time lapse. I'm going to have about 600-700 images on each camera. I'll be able to make a time lapse with both of them. Unfortunately, a 10-inch doesn't have a big enough field of view to house the whole moon in it, but it is what it is. I do time lapse night shots too. I haven't done some in lately, but I've got them on my YouTube channel, some older ones. Also, I've done time lapse of asteroids and comets.
Yeah, that's a good one on P21.
Yeah, that would be a soft focus, Charles. I used to have a tripler on my OM1 with my 200 millimeter lens, running 600 millimeter. I used that. No, I didn't use that. Yes, I did use that tripler. Effectively prime focus with a tripler on my 8-inch f7 for the STS-1 launch back in April of 1991, April 12th. So I did used up a whole 36 roll of film on the STS-1 launch with a tripler. Well, no, not with the tripler on, but for the night part of it, just to get a nice frame of the STS-1 sitting on the launch pad. It's about the only time I ever used that tripler, I think, was on that. Because it's better to have an actual fixed 600 millimeter lens. Yeah, as long as you get good focus, it can work. Damn, I gotta stop yawning. I shouldn't be tired. I got 12 hours sleep last night. Let's see. On from there. To there. So in the 10-inch, I'm going to follow the terminator for a little bit. If you guys have clear weather, you should pop your head outside and look at it right now. It's pretty cool looking. Let's see, I am an hour and 52 minutes from the meridian, so that's good. I'm getting a page somewhere here. I'm getting a message. There it is. Okay. Well, the Fort Club's gonna take this feed and put it on their site. Their cameras froze up apparently. William just said it. They were live streaming too, but their cameras froze up. That's what I'm hoping my cameras don't. The Canon might, but it has. If that heater on the Canon's working, it may stay good. And that's the right hand image. That's the one I really kind of like. That hopefully keeps working. So we'll see. Robin put a picture of all the broadcasts right now. There's like 7 moons on network sky right now. These are all the people that are broadcasting on the network, Sky's network right now. This is me here, and there's all these other people. So this is what we're looking at. That's live. Oh yeah, that was before the Umbra. This is. Oh okay. They've been up there tapping when he's at. Oh. Well, this started at 10:33. Yeah. My wife's standing here talking to me. Yeah, it's showing a pretty good edge there on the Umbra. And that's the one that's clicking off every 6 seconds here. What I could do in this 10 inches, just move the scope so that the bright part of the moon is out of the field of view, and start exposing the red, I suppose. But I'd rather just wait until the eclipse is in totality before I start messing with that. Let's see here. I'm at 30, gain of 30. I'm going to pop it up to 40 now. So I have a 10-inch f8 Ritchie Chrétien that the left-hand image is from with a ZWO. I'll just put the data in here. You guys can read it. 10-inch f8 RC with the ZWO ASI 071 MC camera, one-shot color camera on the left, and the Canon T3i with the 300 millimeter zoom lens piggyback on the 10-inch is on the right. I've got dovetail adapters that allow me to put the Canon on there, so it's run on the same mount. That's why it's tracking. Now they're not perfectly aligned with each other. Because I have no adjustments for the 300 millimeter or the Canon. It's just bolted right on with a quarter 20 on a platform that has a dovetail attachment to it, Lasmonti dovetail. So I can't adjust it. It's actually pointing high. I suppose I could bungee it down a little bit. I don't think I want to put that much stress on it though. So I'm taking raw image, FITS files on the left and raw CR2 files on the right. So we looked at this earlier, the Sky software, and the outside gray was the penumbra. So you can see that the umbra has sliced into the moon here on the simulation on the Sky software, the SkyX. So that's where we're at right now, because we're running it. Should be running on the computer clock. Yeah, there we are. So that gives you an idea. The path will be along the top half, if you will, of the umbra. Okay, Jim, thanks. Yeah, YouTube should be fine. Night Sky, unless you're running the Chrome portable on Night Skies, you probably won't have audio. I wonder if Roger popped over to the YouTube channel. Let's see here. Pop back here. I have to periodically check the text in both broadcasts, folks. By the way, if in YouTube, if it looks fuzzy, go down to the little gear down at the bottom of the YouTube video there, and check to make sure you're running at the at least 1080p resolution, because sometimes it defaults to 480. I'm actually broadcasting at 1440 resolution, so it should be, you should be able to see some of the fairly sharp letters and things like that. They'll be really tiny, but should be able to see the better image there. If you check, just make sure that the resolution settings are at least at 1080p, so that you can get the full benefit of what's being broadcast. I'm actually broadcasting 3440 by 1440 on the YouTube channel. Oops. How did I? What was that? Okay, I don't know how I did that. He's having trouble getting in. Well, see if I can find get the data for him here. Yeah, exactly. Most people it defaults to 480. You need to set it to at least 1080p so you can see what's going on. Otherwise, it looks like junk. Because I'm actually, yep, I'm actually broadcasting at the higher resolution. I gotta help him out here. Let's see here. Right there. That's what I want. When did he send that? 10:20. That was a half hour ago. He probably is not even up anymore. Oh well. Okay, back to you guys. Sorry. Had to help out somebody find the channel. They were sending me a note. Yep, we're about halfway through the moon now. It's only about 11:43, I think. 11:40 or 11:43, I think is second contact. Totality starts. And we're currently at 11:05, so we got about just under 40 minutes to go before totality. Boy, this 10-inch is getting dark. Yeah, I'm going to bring it down to the other side there. Oh no, Bill. Oh no. Not good. So far, so good. Still -4 outside. Temperature hasn't dropped any further. My focuser thinks it's colder than that. It thinks it's -12 outside. I have a thermocouple on the focuser. It's almost always 8 degrees difference. Yeah, the bottom lower right corner, what you see on the YouTube channel is the camera that's running the IR, the night vision camera on the scope, so I can keep an eye on it. I didn't put the south wall down because we were only going to do the moon tonight. It's going to be 66 degrees up from the southern horizon at meridian, so it's plenty high enough. I didn't need the south wall to be folded down, and that keeps any breeze off of it, etc. So. I think it's time to up the gain a little bit. Let's bring it up to 50. Doesn't seem to make much difference, did it? See, I can saturate it with the histogram, but just by sliding the bar here, I can show the terminator real well, but blows everything else out. That's why I'm kind of leaving it right where it is. Besides, it allows me to look at the full dynamic range of the camera by not stretching it, so I can set my exposures accordingly. I need to check something. I want to make sure that these things are incrementing correctly and that I'm not overwriting old pictures. Let's see, back here at US. This timestamp should be unique. 2920. $9:45. Yep. Okay. And okay. That one was 2311. Good. All right. We're good. Close that off. Oops. Let's go and check the other site. Yeah, Jim, it's I'm over in Michigan. The eclipse is going to happen before me if you're west of me, or after me if you're west of me. Support this. And I'm going to drop this to a 500th. And start it back up. This should brighten up very quickly. Well, some. Yep. Just changing exposures. A little wind out there. That was the other reason I left the south wall up. They predicted 12 to 15 mile an hour winds tonight. Just increase the exposures here a little bit at a time. Go to 80. I'm in Michigan, Jim. Yeah, when we're in mid-eclipse, everybody should go outside and take a look. You know, you should look at it. If you looked at it earlier, you know how bright the full moon was. You go out and look at it, you should be able to. I've actually had a lunar eclipse where it was probably because there's a little bit of haze in the sky, but it didn't get very red at all. But it got very, very dark and grayish, and to the point where you had to kind of look around a little bit to see it in mid-eclipse to the naked eye. I don't think this one will be that dark. See, I'm ramping up the gain on the 10-inch every few shots to as we get darker here. I believe you're right. That's where we're at right now. Yep, Castor and Pollux right there. It's not far from from M44.
Did you say not far from Kansas?
Cancer, M44. Kansas. No, I didn't say Kansas. If I pulled this camera lens back to, let's say 140, I could get the beehive in this field of view with it. But I would have to go out there and refocus it all to do that. That would actually be kind of cool during mid-eclipse. But I'm not going to mess with it. It's -5 now. I'm not going outside until I have to. Well, that's good. The only thing about the time lapse that I'm going to produce is you're going to see the moon move a little every once in a while because it is drifting off the drive system because the lunar rate's not matched. I mean, the drive's running at lunar rate, but it's not matched with this specific rate for this particular position of the moon in its orbit. It's moving a little faster than the rate because it's close to perigee. It's also 33 arc minutes instead of the 29. It's a little bigger. Yeah, I did pop my. In fact, I'm going to go do that again. I'm going to pop my head out and take a look at it, naked eye. I'll be right back. I can see the red hue on the obscured side, naked eye. Going out there real quick, take a look. I can see the red hue. So I may increase the exposures on this. So we start to get a little bit of that. Let's drop this to 1/100th. Start this again. There we go. This should brighten up quite a bit here. Yep. And we're going to up the gain on this guy. Go up to 100. Let's go to 120. Let's go to 150. Yeah, we'll go 140. Yeah, there we go. And we'll go to 150. Yeah, okay. The art of game. The art of lunar eclipsing. Yeah, see, it's saturated on the edge now. We are 10 minutes from totality. Hi, Black Wicket, or Chris. Yeah, I'm on broadcasting in 2 different locations. So I have to pop back and forth here. I can see a little bit of red hue in this Canon shot now. I've got the outside getting a little too bright for details. We'll let it ride for here, and then I'll increase the exposure so we can see the. Obviously, once we get the totality, everybody needs to go outside, take a look, and get an idea with their own field of view, with the view with their own eyes, of what kind of color it is. You can see that. You can actually see it naked eye out there right now. The dark portion is got the copper glow to it already. When I pop my head out there. This will not be very good focus because of the lens, and I have not used any temperature compensation on this camera for focus. So yep, should look a little orange. I'm gonna go take another peek. Yep, getting there. Got a little reddish hue, darkish copperish hue to it right now. This image on the left through the 10-inch will not be in color. It's a FITS file. However, the one on the right will be in color. Oh, I already have it running. I do, huh? Where is it? Huh. That's interesting. It says I have one running already. I didn't even know that. Task manager. You probably stopped behaving well. Let's see if I can see this. I don't know. Not going to worry about it. I do want to check the temperatures here on the laptop. Yeah, we're okay. I have the laptop in its carrying case, but with the zipper open so that the 2 cables, or the 3 cables that are on it can come out to where they need to go. But it's keeping the laptop warm out there. It's the computer that's actually running everything out there. This is just a remote desktop that you're seeing. Actually, I could lose connection to the scope out there, or to the laptop, and it'll just continue running without my intervention. In fact, I usually shut this computer down while it's running my overnight shots of my DSOs. I've got it fully automated, so I just go to bed. But for this activity tonight, I'm going to stay active with it.
You can only do that if you're retired.
Oh, that's true. Gosh, I wonder who's retired around here.
I got less than 60 days. March 15th. March 15th is my magic.
Try to time these little moves in between snapshots. All right, we're going to crank this back up to 200 now. 200 gain. I mean, I can up the histogram so it's a little easier to see that terminator, but put this down here out of the way. All right, we're going to do an abort. I'm going to drop the exposure some more. Let's go to 1/4 of a second. Actually, where was I at? 15th. Start this one. Yep. Yeah, the copper color is starting to come out on the camera now. Yeah, with the camera, you're going to have to increase exposures. I'll zoom that in a little bit. You can see the copper and the exposures. I'm increasing the exposure every few frames here. Tenth. Start. Yeah, the copper's starting to come out now. See if I can increase that a little bit. Yep. I'll take some all the way up to 10 seconds. Yeah, it's a choice of whether you want to show the representation of the how it would look visually, or do you want to expose enough to get some of that earth shine or that um, atmosphere refraction that's hitting it. bring up the exposures. And increase this exposure. 0.05. Oh, shoot. What did it do here? So, yeah, okay. All right, we're good. That's because it took one I had at 0 in there. That's why. I think I'll up that to 0.1. 0.1. We're up to a 1/10 of a second on this one now, too. Yeah, a little saturated now, but you start to see, be able to start to see some details here when I up the exposures here. 0.5. There you go. Now you can really see where the terminator is on the 10-inch. Time to increase this one now. Abort. Go down to 1/4 of a second. So the left one's going to be is a FITS format, so it's not debayered. You won't see any color on it until I process this stuff. But right now, one is being on the fly with the Canon, so there's going to be color on that one. That's one of the reasons I zoomed in a little bit. We're going to abort this one and increase the exposure again. We're going to go all the way to 1/2 a second. We're at an ISO of 200 on that camera. 1/2 a second exposure. This one we're at gain of 200 and exposure of 1/2 a second as well. If I could figure out why Astro Toaster is telling me it's running already, I could bring that in and debayer the frames on the 10-inch. I need to figure out where it thinks it's running. I don't know. I don't see it anywhere. Well, could always do this. TSS Live. I don't want it to stack. I want it to do last image. And I'll have it monitor. Let's see here. Pictures. G Pro. Right here. Monitor. Well, not really. I just want to look at the latest one. Shoot. Yeah, let's cancel this. I'll generate all the color ones during post-processing off the 10-inch, so I'm not going to worry about it this time. We are less than 2 minutes away in totality. Okay, Gary. Gary typed in, "It looks as big as Mars in my binoculars with a polar cap. It will appear as big as the full moon." Just being silly. All right, let's increase the exposure just a little bit more here. I'm going to increase the gain to 400, and we're going to go to a full second. So this is going to be bright. Actually, let me leave it at 200 at 1 second and see what that looks like. Doesn't look like it changed very much. Oh, there we go. Yeah, a little color to it. What do we got here? Still 200. I'm taking 1 second exposures. And 1 second seems to be pretty good. Oh, no problem. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun doing this stuff. So there's 2 seconds at ISO 200. Looks darker on the broadcast than it does on my screen here. It's an interesting thing. You can see that light sliver sliding down the left side because it's gonna, as it comes out of eclipse, in an hour or so, it'll be popping out from the bottom. I'm gonna up the gain a little bit on the Canon. Let's go to 400 here. Drop this back to 1 second. See what that is. Very similar. Okay, good. That's what I expected. I want to try to keep the exposures fairly short, but I don't want to pop the gain up too high to the point it gets really noisy. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. Jump the gain to 800. Yeah, now it's well exposed. You can see the entire thing fairly well. A little star down here on the lower right, or down in the lower left, about 7 o'clock, and then another one down around 5:30. A couple of stars there at once. Oh, the stars! There's a couple of stars popping in around out of the field of view here. Up in the upper right corner, one at 2:30 in the right corner, another one at 1. Got some stars in the field of view as well. Running a game. I just upped to ISO 800 here. It's still at 1 second, but we're getting some stars in the field of view now too, as the exposures increase. Okay, we'll take one more shot like this, and I think I'll increase it just a little bit. All right, let's go to 1600. Take a few with that. I'm going to do a print screen on this. Yep, some stars there. That's kind of neat. All right, Tim. Go have a look. Yeah, everybody should go out and take a look. If you have clear weather, go out and take a look. In fact, I'm going to go out and take a look again. I haven't even got my binoculars out. I should. They are, where are they? Oh, they're right here. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to take a little peek. what what am I doing taking pictures of the moon when during the lunar eclipse the sky is totally black? I could be doing some deep sky stuff right now for this hour or so that we have no moon out. uh, yeah, went out there and I was surprised how uh, dark it is. Had my 15 by 70 binoculars. Take a look at it. Pretty neat. It's been 4 years since I've seen a lunar eclipse, I think. No, I have plenty of time to do DSOs. That's fine. Finish up the lunar eclipse. Make my little video. I'll make my little video. I'll have a few prints. Yeah, it's even coming through on the image there. Some stars around the moon. Yeah, that would be the beehive not too far away. going to back off the exposure some here. All right. I'm going to back off the gain. We're going to drop it back to 800. Start that up. Meow. Meow. One of my cats is coming in and harassing me here. Let's see here. Do that, and then do this, and then do this. Let's drop this to 2. Let me see what my histogram looks like here. Oh yeah, I gotta take a little longer exposures here. They get falling behind here. Let's do 300. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I could stretch it, but I'd rather use about 2/3 of the dynamic range. I mean, if I stretch it a lot, I mean you can see some details on the back, but or on the dark portion, the eclipse portion. But I want to increase the dynamic range a little bit. Oh man, I may have to up the exposure time too to 2 seconds. Oh, not 2 minutes. Oops, 2 seconds. All right. Looks like it went 2 seconds. Good. All right, we're using the whole dynamic range now. I'm going to run out of frames. I'm going to have to set up another one here. That's what I should have done. 3 different sets of exposures for the partials and the totals. I'll set this up to be 2 seconds as well. 2 seconds, 2 seconds. And do 500 of those. So it'll continue the sequence. You notice the, like I was saying, the light part is sliding around the edge now. It was up near on the left frame, it was up near the top 1 o'clock position. It's now close to 3 o'clock position because the eclipse is now moving across. And in fact, if the graphic would be right here. Yeah, that's about where we're at right now. So the light portion is going to go around that side. And it's going to continue on to the left in this diagram. We got quite a bit of time yet before totality is over, another hour and 40 minutes. But the narrow edge is going to move on us as we get closer to it. It's going to move over to the left edge of this, or in the case of this one, the left edge and below, and the shadow will pop out to the top. So it'll get to the point where that little white bar will move down to the bottom of the right picture here, and that's where the eclipse will start. Third contact will happen. Let's see, I went out there and reset the heating pad on the UPS about 10:30, so we're good for another half an hour at least. And I actually have it covered with something else too to kind of retain some of the heat. Hopefully I'm not baking it too hard. It is now minus 6 degrees Fahrenheit here, folks. I am so glad I have a remote access to my system so I could stay nice and warm. Yeah, why does it tell me that's already running? That's just so weird. It's probably not even called that. I think it's probably called something else. That's why I can't find it to stop it. Well, I could do that. That could be fun. Let's see here. Let's bring up Pix Insight. Take a couple of files. Go to pictures. SG Pro. Moon. We're now in the morning hours. Let's pull up this one here. And we're going to debayer that. And oh, yeah. Actually, I didn't want to do it that way anyways. I'll do it this way. There we go. And now, ouch. Somebody's audio just popped on. I'm going to debayer that one. There, look at that. That's going to turn out kind of nice. What I can do, guys, is I can take these images that I've taken on both sides of the frame and make a mosaic of the moon during mid eclipse. So what I can do is, in fact, I should do it right now. Oh shoot! I just took one in the middle of the frame. Move. Let me mark that one as bad. Okay, we're moving now. Oh, Mariah, he's out there. Yeah, yeah. Well, gotta do what you gotta do. See, what I'm doing is taking a bunch of frames here along the during the totality along the entire thing that I can stack together and make one nice frame of the eclipse. Since the 10-inch doesn't have the full field of view, I'll take that shot, and now we'll move it some more. And we'll move this way. And I'm actually going to start watching the bottom end anyways in the 10 because that's where the shadow will disappear. Oops, that one's going to be blurred. Over here on the right, I moved that while it was taking that exposure. Yeah, must have set it off just in time. So what I was getting at is I have this one, for example. I'll be able to pull up, let's say the last one I took here, and debear it. And I'll be able to combine these two. I'll minimize this. These two that I've debared, I'll be able to put them right over on top of each other in my stacking software. So you have an image kind of like that when I'm done. And I'm taking so many of them, I can stack 30 or 40 of them with all these different reference frames that have an overlay. So the auto stacker will be able to lay them on top of each other. So I'll be able to pull up like one nice copper one, almost like about that color. That'll look kind of nice. It'll be a decent resolution too, the 10-inch resolution. So those are the things you can do when you have the tools. So I'll have about 30 of these during totality, or maybe even 100. And right now I'm taking some at the bottom half again during totality, so I can overlay the sets. Create one nice single image. We'll see. Just a thought. That's the other reason I actually was doing the 10-inch, was to get some decent resolution ones that I can stack the totality ones together. Maybe put one close to the first one and one close to the last one, and whatever. It'd be better if I had them all together or a wide enough field of view for all of it. But you gotta do what you can do with what you got. Way up here, I'm going to run out 180 frames. We'll just continue on in the next sequence right there. It'll be fine. Good to see you here, Mariah. Is he broadcasting? Yeah, when I do my time lapse with the 10-inch, it'll be all debayered, so you'll be able to see all those colors. Because I think these exposures are good enough to, as we just saw in the Pix Insight, they look pretty good actually. We are 32 minutes from meridian, but I should be able to go an hour and a half past. Actually, let me think about this. 10, 25 degrees. Yeah, 25 degrees. So not quite 2 hours. But an hour and a half will get me through totality. And then I can do a, oh, nice, Dale. Adam's atomic snipe, good. He gets to view some too. Yeah, I'm broadcasting at 1440p, Dale. It should look good on your 4K monitor, your 4K TV. I could actually do that. I could walk upstairs, now that I think about it, and put the YouTube channel up there. I should go see what that looks like. I'll be right back. I'm going to do that. All right. Yeah, it looks pretty good on my 60-inch as well, Dale. I got a. We bought a 4K TV this year after the old 1080p started losing vertical lines of pixels, so we went out and bought one about a year ago. Yeah, it's up high, Dale. Even here. I think it's going to get to 60 degrees, 66 degrees off the horizon. Yeah, 66 degrees off the horizon right now. Yep, we're about mid eclipse. Yep, a little lighter patch is easing its way around to the bottom of the moon here, which is the top, really, from depending on which side you look at it. Yeah, I'm chewing in your ear. I should mute myself here. It's the 071 one-shot color. But SG Pro doesn't debayer it, so you can't see it in color until I debayer them. But I don't know if you were around. I just looked at two images earlier. They turned out they're going to be pretty nice. My focus may have changed. I'm not actually focusing on a star tonight because I'm doing the moon, but 3, 2, 1. Tim, that camera has 4.8, let's see, 4.78 micron pixels, I believe. And at 2000 millimeter, I'm running just under a half an arc second per pixel. It's like a little oversampling going on, but gives me good resolution on Got little stars coming out there. I hear a little breeze out there. It's starting to kick up. Let's see the northern sky. Yeah. Yeah. Seeing is starting to get poor. Is poor. According to the clear sky chart. So, but it's been very clear. Transparency. It's excellent transparency. And then above average in another hour. The seeing's just poor. It's due to the winds. Although it wasn't much of a wind when I started about 9:30. It was pretty quiet. I have a nasty habit of eating it late at night. Yes, it can drop it below 35 degrees below ambient, and I am not cooling it at all tonight. I'm just letting it sit. In fact, if you look here, let me see here. It's sitting at minus 14 degrees anyways. Almost minus 15. I don't even have the cooler on. And obviously, I'm taking all these short exposures of the moon. I mean, why do I care about what the cooler's doing? I mean, that's minus 14C. The focuser says it's focuser says it's 25 degrees below zero, which it is not. That focuser thermocouple's got to be busted. But it says it's minus 14F as well. So my camera says it's minus 14 degrees out there. My focuser says it's minus 14 degrees out there, but my thermometer on my port says it's only minus 6. So I don't know what to believe. I was going to change the this over here on this focus control. It's in Celsius. This focus control is in Fahrenheit. I can switch it to Celsius. It also says it's minus 25C out. So I don't know. Starting to think I have two thermocouples hanging about 4 inches away from each other out there and hanging off the scope, and they both say it's minus 14. And that the sensor I have on the front porch says minus 6, it might be the one that's not working it correctly. It'd be hard for me to believe it's minus 14 out there right now, but I don't have another thermometer. I don't have a fourth thermometer to verify. Actually, if I think about it, the thermocouple on the focuser and the thermocouple in the camera are probably much more accurate than the run-of-the-mill thermometer, digital thermometer you get from, one of these little weather stations. So it might be minus 14 out there for all I know. I would expect since the focuser and the cameras are a little more precision made, that it might be actually minus 14 degrees Fahrenheit outside here. I've never liked the thermometer that little digital thermometer setup that we've got. Has always run warmer than these two other thermocouples. So I wonder what the let me see what the weather station says it is. Oh, it says it's only minus 3, minus 4. So maybe my thermocouples are wrong. I don't know. All right, Gary. Well, it could very well be minus 14 here. We do get we're out of the town. We're not in town. We're out in the country. It could be minus 14 then. So maybe those thermocouples are right. Take care, Gary. Yeah. Well, it is cold. No doubt about it. I've got a heating blanket on my UPS to keep the power running out there. I could take it, I could take everything off and plug it into the regular house power, but I don't like running electronics out there 150 feet from the house on a underground line. I mean, I've got all my computer systems on UPSs just to keep the power clean and have battery backup. All our computers are on their own UPS. My router, my modem, everything's on UPSs, and so I put one out in the observatory as well to put the G11, the 4 cameras on it, and the laptop I don't have on it. It's got its own brick, so it's not on it. But the heaters are on just on regular AC. They're not on the UPS. I got 3 heat straps on the scope and the camera, and I got a heating pad on the UPS to keep it warm because when it gets below 10 degrees, starts to it doesn't like it when it gets. I think it's actually around 15 degrees. It doesn't like it anymore. But starting to get a little light on the 4 o'clock position on the left image. And the reason that's flipped differently is I got 3 mirrors in this RC. I use an on-axis guiding port, which puts a 90-degree diagonal in there in the image train before it gets to the camera. It's one of the reasons why I don't think I'll ever be able to go to mono, narrowband with a mono camera, because I don't think I could. I might be able to get a filter wheel in there. I don't know. Get a good focus. I definitely can't use a focal reducer. Yep, I figure it's close. Well, yeah, 143. Yeah, it's close. We're gonna have to start backing off the exposures here a bit. In fact, maybe I'll do that right now. Just change the gain on this guy, drop it to 200. Yeah, that darkened it up quite a bit. But that'll be good. We're getting back out of the phases here, so. And I should probably do the same here. I'm going to do abort. And we're going to drop the gain here, 400. Leave it 1 second for now. Transition. Well, it started at 10:33, and I think it I'm sorry, 11:43, and it's going to end about totality was at 12:45, a little over an hour. What the heck? Oh shoot! Yep, I gotta go. My power just gave me some noise and shut everything down. I'll be right back. All right, folks. The UPS, I bought a heating pad for it a few days ago, but it has a 2-hour timer on it. And obviously, I lost track of time, and it went a half hour past, or something like it, 20 minutes past the last time, the timeout. So the UPS starts screaming the low temperature, and it shuts down. It powered down the whole system. I turned the heater back on, sat there for a little bit. I was able to get it to power up, but it's still screaming about the temperature. If I believe my thermocouple, it's minus 14 degrees out, and even my outside porch just dropped to minus 7. So UPSs don't like cold weather like that, and I'm not going to plug it directly into the line there because our power is not real clean, and I don't want to blow any electronics up. So I would be fighting the temperatures here for the next hour if I continued on. I decided to close up shop. I did sit there and look up and could see third contact had already happened, and it's a beautiful sight. If you can go out and take a look, it's a beautiful sight. And but we got through most of totality, almost finished it actually, and with 2 cameras, and that was fun. But it is bitter cold out there. Yeah, I can believe it is minus 14 out there. My 2 thermocouples out there on the scope itself says it was. So my laptop's out there, by the way, but it's in its case, and I think it may be. Let's see where that's at, temperature wise. That would be this right here. Say it's 7 degrees above. Well, this says the interior is 7 degrees above. 7 degrees above freezing Celsius. The CPU is going to stay hot because I'm running it, but I actually have it enclosed in its carrying case to keep it warm. Yeah, almost tempted to bring it in anyways, just because it is bitter cold out there. The UPS will power up now. I've got the heater on it, but I don't see any particular reason to. What is this? I'm gonna say no. I don't see any reason to continue on. Take a risk. The mount is stiff, by the way, so the grease is not real flexible. I have to put some of that, what are they, super lube on this mount. I haven't done that yet. I've had the mount for a little over 2 years, but this was a significant test of the system getting down this cold to see if it would actually run for any length of time, and it did fine. Just the power unit was the one thing I was worried about. I actually got that heating pad van on Thursday or Friday. Yeah, I know it's parked. I want to disconnect from it. Pause sequence. Abort sequence. Okay. Looks like it kept taking pictures while I was out there. Well, thank you for stopping by, folks. It was fun. I'm going to close up shop now, I think. Yeah, it looks like that's broadcast over there at network. Night Skies stop. So, all right. Those guys at Night Sky Network, I've closed up shop. It didn't refresh in here, but we're going to close up shop for the night. It's gotten too bitter cold. It's out here. So thanks for joining us. Maybe next time. And on YouTube, have a good night, folks. I got to power down my application to start the data transfer to the house here. How come I'm not getting... What's going on here? Oh, there we go. I needed to disconnect all the hardware, it's actually powered down, so it's not actually connected. Disconnect. And close. Close. And close. And disconnect. No, I got to disconnect this guy as well. Yeah, here's where the eclipse is at. It's coming out of the umbra now, so pretty significant amount. Yeah, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get the whole thing tonight, but